That Greek guy landed in Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan, a former Soviet republic right in the heart of Central Asia. One of only two countries in the world that's double landlocked. No oceans, no shortcuts, just history. We landed in Samarkand, one of the most famous cities along that route. But instead of starting there, we jumped on a night train to Khiva. The furthest stop on our map. From ancient fortress walls to blue-tiled buildings, one journey, 3 cities, thousands of years. This is Uzbekistan. Let's go. We took the bus from Samarkand airport into the city and had a few hours to kill. We walked, ate, and got the first taste. Not enough time to explore, just enough to want more. But first, the night train to Khiva.
Trains are a popular means of transportation in Uzbekistan. We're going west to Khiva, then we will come back to Bukhara and then back to Samarkand, where we will finish our trip. The ticket was €18 per person in a 4-bed coupe. The train ride takes 10 hours from Samarkand to Khiva. Sleeping in the train was comfy. Okay, this bed is not so long for me at least. For Samarkand to Bukhara there was no problem, a lot of tickets, but to Khiva, for some reason, not so many. So if you come to Uzbekistan and you plan to take the train, keep in mind to start looking way ahead for a ticket.
It was still dark when we got off the train. We jumped into a taxi. Communication was limited, but everything went okay. Khiva's old town is a museum city, and cars aren't allowed inside. So the driver dropped us about 10 minutes away from the hotel. At that hour, the streets were empty, cold and silent. Not a single person in sight.
Colors of sunrise over there. We just arrived in Khiva very early in the morning. Actually, it's still dark, even if it's 8:30.
8:30.
Very cold. Not bad first impression of Khiva, eh?
We got to our hotel. It was warm and cozy.
Me too.
But the balcony...
We're in the middle of Khiva. The view from our homestay is insane. Mosque minaret. Look at this view. Tomorrow we can have breakfast here.
Here?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Perfect. Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Little colder.
No problem.
This is where we will have our breakfast tomorrow morning, and I cannot wait. But we have our first coffee in Khiva with this view.
Yes, telephone.
See?
After getting some tips from the owner, we headed out. Before we even had breakfast, Khiva hit us instantly. That feeling you get when you know a place is going to stay with you. Found a place where we tried some local dishes.
I know.
Thank you.
We sweetened our tea the Uzbek way with nabat.
We are putting it inside, but just leave it like that.
And had the chance to see the staff preparing food.
Can I? It's a manti?
Samsa.
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 With daylight finally filling the streets, we went out for our first walk in Khiva.
Let's go change some money.
After changing money, we purchased our tickets at the west gate of Kalan, the old city of Khiva.
Can we have the list of the monuments that are included in the tickets? This is in VIP and in standard. And how much is the ticket?
The entrance costs €20 per person, and if you want to climb the Islam Hoja minaret and the city walls, you need to pay an extra of €7 and €3 respectively, making the total price €30 per person, which is not cheap for Uzbek standards. The ticket can be used for 2 days.
I feel like millionaires to exchange, like $220 for almost 3 million sum.
Once inside the walls, we wandered without a plan, letting the city guide us, visiting madrasas and mosques along the way. Juma Mosque is one of the oldest places in the city. Held up by hundreds of wooden columns, it's unlike any other mosque we visited. This is the minaret that you've probably seen most of the pictures about Khiva. We are very close to the short minaret. And this guy is working on the hotel. He let us go on the roof. We are exactly next to this. This was supposed to be 100 meters tall. Technically, you were supposed to see Bukhara from here, if it was 100 meters. But it's just 30 now. Still very beautiful.
Which one is this? Które?
Islam Hoja Minaret. Islam Hoja Minara.
Islam Hoja Minaret. Okay.
Islam Hoja Madrasa.
Next, we visited Islam Hoja Minaret, the highest point in Khiva. Islam Hoja Minaret, 56 meters high, 9.5 meters diameter. The base, climbing there is cool. It will take a while. And we are there. We got to the top. After the narrow stairs, the effort disappeared the second we looked out. Nothing prepares you for that view. We could see everything. Zindan, Kaltami Nord Minaret, Juma Mosque, Palavan Mahmud Mausoleum. The balcony in the middle is ours, our homestay. When we got down, a local offered to take Barbara's picture, perfectly framed beneath a minaret.
If it's open,
How much are those?
30,000.
Nie wypełnia się powyżej.
So far the food here in Uzbekistan is very good. The meat especially, the bread is a different story. But everything is very good. And also the restaurants look like old classic style, I would say. They look a bit luxurious, like expensive. They are not. It's very interesting.
That's fun.
We are in the harem of Khiva. I read somewhere that the word harem comes from the Arabic word haram, which means forbidden, because only the ruler was allowed to enter the harem. Let's check this out.
Nie chcemy, no to it's very beautiful. Очень красивое jest.
Очень чудо. Мужчина.
Мужчина.
One present. One for me. 1 minute. One for me. 1 minute. Mister. 1 minute. This is harem.
Harem.
Harem is tradition.
Traditional.
Tea.
Every day.
Present.
Every day.
4 and 40. 44 present.
No.
You only one. Only one.
Concubine doesn't need present.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, how many?
40. 40.
I have only one.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe 2, 3 present. 2, 3 present.
This one look complex.
That's good.
One for me.
Ой, mogę zdać izjum?
Yok, tapamız. Şöyle gideceğiz 5 milyon ya.
5 millik yana bir
The local time is 4 in the afternoon, and we are already alone. We probably are the only ones living in the old city. Almost Christmas time, most of the visitors are locals. We counted like max 6 to 7 foreigners. In end of December, you know where the day is very short, sunrise in Khiva is around 8:30 and it's very cold. Like in Samarkand and Bukhara, Khiva is also a place that the caravans were stopping when following the Silk Road coming all the way from China. No camels anymore in Khiva, but you feel this past in every corner you turn. This is a very beautiful place with rich history. Next morning we enjoyed the much anticipated breakfast on the balcony with the incredible old city view. The good thing about staying in the old city of Khiva is that in the morning, before everyone comes home, you have this wonderful place to yourself. And the same happens in the evening.
No, it's too far. It's very far.
1, 2.
That morning, before exploring the city walls, we asked around about visiting the nearby castles. And soon we had a plan for the next day.
Hello, good day. How are you? In the good new car, 2 people, very nice. 1 day tour, $50. From Khiva start, Kizil Kala Fortress, Toprak Kala Fortress, Ayaz Kala Fortress, Koykrulgan Kala, 5 fortress, and then come back Khiva. Tell me please, Johnson. Yeah, thank you.
Climbing, but this time for the city walls. What do you think about the price?
$50 for 5 hours. I think it's good.
After the walls, we visited a couple more madrasas and walked around as the day came to an end. Next morning, we enjoyed our breakfast indoors this time and headed out to catch a ride.
Nice to meet you, Gerard.
Please, okay.
Okay.
You have
pierogi.
camera chick now.
It's like dumplings.
Pierogi, yeah?
Like kinkali.
Like manti.
Inside egg.
Egg.
These green noodles.
yes.
This name Shuvit Ashi. In the Karakalpakstan, 38% territorial.
On our way, our driver began telling us stories about Khiva and everyday life in Uzbekistan.
River name Amudarya. 2000 kilometers before start. Start from in the mountain, Pamir mountain. Desert name Kizil Kum. Kizil in the red. Kum desert. Kizil Kum.
Red desert.
Red desert, yeah. French, Italy people in the cinema. Movie.
Which movie?
Movie name Chinggis Khan. Go movie, yeah.
And yes, that's an arba pulled by a donkey while the Ravakas is sleeping in the back.
You here, same back. From here, you small. From up picture.
So our ride stopped there, just outside the yurta camp, and we are going up on the first fortress of Ayaz Kala. From there we will have a very nice view of the smaller fortress on the other side. I mentioned before, visiting Uzbekistan in winter has some advantages. For example, Ayaz Kala, no one else is here.
От вас это 20 тысяч. Кем работает это? Журналисты, что ли?
Robimy same takie filmy na YouTube.
Ой, в Ютубе? Хорошо. Юртовый лагерь. Это юртовый лагерь.
Nie, chyba nie.
Нет, вам не надо юртовый лагерь. Вам что интересно?
So this is our second stop in the region of Karakalpakstan, where we came to visit the fortresses, and this is Kavatkala. I don't want to judge too quickly, but probably this will be the least interesting of the 5 castles. We will see. Let's go to the next ones. There's the entrance, exactly next to it, farms and houses. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. After the 4th castle, we decided to skip the 5th one and go back. But first we stopped for lunch. We enjoyed local dishes and learned about Uzbek customs and how to serve tea.
Do you like to eat pilav? What you like?
Plov, very nice. Plov. Every week, every Uzbekistan, more people house plov cook. This in the Khorasan region, more like eating cow. In Tashkent, more like eating lamb. Yeah, lamb. 3 in the back, 6, and then 7 in the giving. Not give full, half. Maybe give full. Translation, I don't like, look, go. Yeah.
Good. The desert castles marked the end of our time in Khiva.
Zapraszam. Zapraszam. Okay. Zapraszam.
By morning, we were already on our way to Bukhara. The train ticket cost 15 euro per person.
This is our coupe with some tea, chocolate. The beds are lifted up to store luggage.
Have a nice trip to Bukhara.
During the 6-hour train ride, we tried to get some sleep. At one point, we wandered to the restaurant car, hoping for coffee, but that wasn't happening.
Możemy kawę tylko?
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Что вы хотели?
Kawę.
Не, у нас кофе нет, у нас только кушать есть.
A, kушать
Да,
jest?
горячее кофе. Спагетти есть, там жидкое есть.
No, nie chcemy.
Нет, у нас, я извиняюсь, у нас просто кофе нет. Извините.
Then we got off the train at Samarkand station to go to Bukhara. After Khiva, 3 wonderful days. Let's see what Bukhara has in store for us.
Я в Украине был.
Kiedy? Kiedy? Когда?
Много лет. Украина, Белоруссия, Латвия, Литва, Эстония.
By the time we dropped our bags at the hotel, it was already dark. We took a short walk through Bukhara's quiet streets. It's our first walk in Bukhara, and immediately you see the differences compared to Khiva. It's a way more touristic place, in the evening even. When in Khiva, during this time, it was completely empty. Found some dinner, shared an ice cream,
Lemon and mirtillo.
and went to bed, excited for the day of exploring ahead. We arrived in Bukhara yesterday afternoon. The next day, with a beautiful morning, we're going to explore the city. So we started walking around to explore the city and trace its layers. One madrasa, mosque or minaret at a time. In Bukhara, you don't just visit monuments, you move through history. We are in Kukalgus Madrasa. Back in the day, it was one of the biggest madrasas in Central Asia. It had about 160 rooms for students who were here studying astronomy, what else? Mathematics, all kinds of science.
This staircase leads to the roof of the madrasa.
Okay, we are on the roof. You can see Kalam Minaret there.
We got on the roof of the madrasa. The day is very blurry, it's very windy, it brings a lot of dust and sand from the desert. Magokia Tori, the oldest mosque in Bukhara, since the 9th century. Mirarab behind me is another very old madrasa, built 500 years ago. And it's the only one operating to this day. That's why the entrance is not allowed. Telpak Furuson, one of the 3 old dome markets still standing in the old city of Bukhara. In Uzbekistan, they're drinking a lot of tea, and I mean a lot. Everywhere they're drinking tea, and it's very good. If you're a tea lover, you're gonna love it here. This madrasa was founded by Ulugh Meg. He founded 3 madrasas here in Bukhara. He was a descendant, grandson of Amir Timur, the great conqueror. And he was teaching in the one in Samarkand. He was teaching astronomy. Kalon Minaret was built on the 12th century. Since then, it didn't need any kind of renovation. It was used also as a lighthouse so travelers to Bukhara from the desert could see it from a distance and find their destination. But it was also used to throw criminals off the roof as a punishment. When Genghis Khan came to Bukhara, he liked this tower so much, he appreciated its beauty, and he decided to spare it. Kalon Mosque, built in the 12th, 13th century. It can accommodate 10,000 people in here, and now we are only 2.
Thank you.
In Bukhara, we didn't enjoy only local meals. We stepped into a small restaurant serving traditional Tajik cuisine. We had no idea about this place. We found on Google Maps. The main dish is kurutob. I think it comes from Tajikistan. This is beyond expectation. It's very, very good. If at some point you want to take a break from Uzbek cuisine, which is delicious, no doubt, this is the place to come. Kurutob. Trust me. Kurutob. Our room in Bukhara was big and clean, at a price that felt almost too good to be true.
To nasz pokój w Bukharze za 20 eurasów. Ze śniadaniem.
The next morning, the city was blurred and hazy, covered in a thick layer of wind-blown sand. The situation with the sand and the dust, it's very strange. We feel it in our mouth, between our teeth.
True.
Krichi sound.
Krichi.
Chor Minor Madrasa, the 4 minarets. This madrasa was built like 200 years ago, and if you see the visibility not very clear, it's because of the very strong south winds bringing sand from the desert.
the Abbey House, the most popular meeting place in Bukhara. This place was full with people a few centuries ago, and still is, for different reasons.
But Bukhara isn't only monuments. It's markets, food, and the rhythm of daily life. From the market stalls, we cross the road to get to the Bolo House Mosque.
Bolo Mosque, known for its 40 columns at the entrance, which actually are 20, but because you can see them in the reflection in the pond, maybe not today with these conditions, that's why it's known for the 40 columns it has. Bolo Mosque was built in 1712, and it's known for the very beautiful decoration and wooden columns that we see often in this region. This very small but very beautiful mausoleum, the Samanid mausoleum, was built in the 10th century. The oldest funerary building of Central Asia. Behind me is the Bukhara lake. No?
A pigeon market wasn't exactly on our Bukhara plan, but here we were. Apparently, this was the place to come if you're in the market for a pigeon. Or maybe a parrot. Or fish. The whole scene brought back memories of the wild boat market in Iswa and Oman. If you want to see that adventure, check the link in the description. A few steps away, we got into a market, and the atmosphere changed completely. This is Bukhara's local bazaar. Loud, colorful, and full of everyday life.
Pomegranate juice, how much it was? €1.
€1.
Fresh.
Bardzo dobre.
Plov.
Co to jest?
Kumino.
A, kumino. O, nice.
Spices.
From the market, we headed to the station for the fast train to Samarkand. The man checking the tickets in front of the train was wearing such an impressive outfit that he looked like he came straight out of a movie.
Yanis.
Yes.
Yanis. And
Barbara.
Barbara. Okay. Are you going to Samarkand?
Yes.
From Polsha.
Polsza i Grecja. Yes.
Poland, yes. You speak in two languages, right?
Yeah.
Russian?
Yeah, Russian.
Polyak?
Ciut.
English.
Ciut.
Sit number 17.
Thank you, Rahmat.
17.
Oh, we see the speed there. Curious.
In less than 2 hours, we crossed the desert towards Samarkand, with a small screen showing our speed, climbing to 160 kilometers per hour. We arrived in the evening, grabbed a quick dinner nearby, and saved the city for the next day.
Сколько inne? Сколько? 50,000. To the 2 bilety.
The next morning, we headed straight to the legendary Registan, the historic heart of Samarkand.
First stop for the day is Registan. This place blew my mind.
I've been watching videos of Uzbekistan, but I never expected it would be so beautiful. Three enormous madrasas surround the square, once places of learning where students studied astronomy, philosophy and theology.
Uzbekistan Square was the main educational and trading hub back in the day. Whatever was going on, this was the place. Education, parade, celebration, execution, you name it, everything was happening here.
Uzbekistan!
Namangan.
So you're welcome in Samarkand. I'm guide, Jasu, tour guide. My name is Jasu. You're welcome in downtown, very beautiful city in Samarkand.
From here we can see also Bibi Mosque. We will visit after Zahi Zinda. From Uzbekistan we continue to Zahi Zinda, which translates to the living king. We are at the necropolis of Zahi Zinda. Many important people between 1400 and 1500 were buried here. Allegedly, the cousin of Muhammad was buried here, and also the beloved wife of Amir Timur. The endless blue tiles make it one of the most beautiful places in all of Samarkand, and many consider Zahi Zinda to be the most beautiful street in Central Asia. After a quick snack, we visited the enormous Bibi Khani Mosque and just across the street, the Bibi Khani Mausoleum.
Co to idzie?
Figa, figa.
A, figa.
Секунд. Это фига, фига.
Это глюкоза, тутовник, мальбери.
Malbery.
Yes.
Co to?
Это apricot seeds, very good beer.
Dobre.
Uzbek, Tajik, English is little, Japanese little, Korean speaking no problem.
Many Japanese and Korean here.
Yes.
They have community.
Yes. What's your name?
John, Yanis.
Yanish.
Barbara.
Barbara. Is good. Very good. Barbara. Oh. Faruk.
Faruk.
Oh, nice to meet you
nice
too.
to meet you.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
We then stopped for lunch at a small local restaurant. Half the tables were groups of women chatting over tea and enjoying their afternoon. Soon there was music and dancing, a joyful slice of everyday life in Samarkand. To finish the day and our journey through Uzbekistan, we visited the Gure Amir Mausoleum, the final resting place of legendary conqueror Amir Timur. The Silk Road may belong to history, but in Uzbekistan, its spirit is still alive, and somewhere between the blue domes and the desert roads, it quietly stole the peace of our hearts. Walking through the cities of Uzbekistan felt like moving inside the living museum and a dream at the same time. But what really brought Uzbekistan to life were the people. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos from Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Ecuador, South Africa, Kyrgyzstan, India, and of course, Greece. Thank you for watching. See you next time.